Welcome to Checkpoint Real Talk, a podcast for security folks who want less FUD and more FUN. In each episode, we'll have lighthearted conversations about security, people, processes, and technology as we react to how they're portrayed in film and TV. We'll bring in experts from inside and outside Checkpoint to break it down. What was accurate? What wasn't? And what can you apply to real-world cyber events? In this week's episode, host Syya Yasotornrat and guests John Finnamore, Head of Cloud Security Architects Americas, and Matt Stevens, Senior Solutions Architect, join us to chat about ABC TV series Criminal Minds, Season 9, Episode 12, The Black Queen. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Checkpoint Real Talk. I'm your host, Syya, and today we are joined by Matt and John, two illustrious cybersecurity experts who've been gracious enough to join me in this adventure of reacting to, let's just say, how awesome, I say it with quotation marks, how awesome technology and cybersecurity is depicted in media. So today we are going to look at Criminal Minds, and full disclosure, apparently 2/3 of us have never watched the show. So this is gonna be a lot of fun because this will be really reacting to it. So Matt, John, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you are so awesome and so gracious. So, John, can I just ask you, because you were the one that picked out Criminal Minds, can you just give me a little history of what was your experience? Why did you?
Yeah, so I've been a cybersecurity, cyber IT guy for a very long time, and I've watched the evolution of TV shows. I remember 24; they always talked about firewall. In Criminal Minds, everything was so simple, and I used to kind of giggle and say, well, why didn't they just hire a college intern, to make this a little more accurate? I haven't watched the episodes lately, but when I did, I found that they actually got a lot better in terms of the consultation that they're getting from IT guys, and they are a little more accurate. A lot of it is still fictitious, but at least it's based on underlying truth. And I just love that lady Garcia. She's like a supercomputer person, so she's kind of fun on the show, so I thought that might be a fun one.
Oh, nice. So Matt, what are your impressions of what you think of Criminal Minds will be about? Do you have any idea?
No, I haven't seen it before, but I've watched a lot of movies and shows in the past, and like when I'm watching it with my wife, and she'll turn over and see me chuckle because I'm going, this is not at all the way it's done, when you've worked in IT for as many years as I have. So it's always kind of fun to peel back the layers of the onion, but entertaining nevertheless.
I've always been, and I've been doing this show for a little bit now, and what I'm seeing is, and we know this, you guys, it is entertainment, right? We want to be entertained. We want suspension of belief, right? But how hard is it as security professionals, as IT professionals, as executive business professionals to watch some of these shows, and it's just so far from, far left field? I mean, can you stay in the show, or do you do what I do, which is literally yell and say, that's not how it works? Can you actually stay in it?
Yeah, I personally don't mind. What we do is hard. You're self-selected. You got to think a lot. And, it's got a stereotype of maybe being a little geeky, we're a little nerdy, and anything that Hollywood can do to make us look a little more glamorous, I'll take it, I don't mind the glamour with, the fantasy around making it look sexier maybe than it really is.
And
do you really think it makes us look better, you guys? I mean, come on.
Anything. We've got no place to go but up.
There we go. That is the truth. So we did a previous episode on the IT Crowd, and it's a British comedy sitcom back in 2010 or something like that. Time is flying by, and they were in the dungeon, they were in the basement of this major conglomerate business. They've come a long way, but has it really, in the context of especially for hackers, they're oh, they got to be in a hoodie and a t-shirt, do you guys like that depiction?
It's fine. It's a good connotation. Most when I think of hacking, it's 9 parts art and 1 part science, so actually the good ones, all of the scams in the last 10, 15 years are, phishing emails. They're social engineering based. So your average hacker is probably a pretty slick dude, like a con artist. But then everyone kind of focuses on that super smart 1% that goes really deep, goes into the code, looks for 0-day exploits, things like that. That's what you think about, but you actually have to be more cautious of the artful crowd, I think, on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, you seen the same thing or feel the same way?
Yeah, you have to be much more cautious, I'd say. I mean, even, with my experience in the industry, I'm often, surprised at how legitimate an email will come in and look. And, I got one yesterday where it was a attachment with an invoice, and it was, McAfee's security renewal and, something to that effect. And it's like, well, now I don't use that product, and I know it's not up for renewal, so I know that this is a phishing attempt. But for somebody else that maybe that's what they use, they get it from Comcast, and they think it's them reaching out and asking for renewal, calling to validate that they want to do that, and then suddenly they've given their personal information to somebody that's a threat actor. So you have to really be on guard. It's something that I help to train my friends and family on, and then everybody has to.
They will. I had to pay a bunch of tolls. I travel from North Carolina up to Eastern Canada, and I pay a bunch of tolls. They somehow hacked into who paid their tolls, and then they sent me texts saying that I've got unpaid, pay it now, fines over and over and over again. And yeah, you just have to be careful. They will, that's the art of it, right? They try to find something very plausible. The more information they can get, see what you really used, and then you see what they can get from you.
It is so sad. Like, I think, again, being with technology, we have the technology to prevent a lot of things, but human behavior is human behavior. Social engineering will always exist. So you could have 15 layers of different types of platforms, top blocking, tackling, etc. But you just need that one person, the CEO, just be like, oh, okay, click, and just tunnels right through everything. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me. So on that note then, so Criminal Minds. So is it a show about is it all technology based, or is it just Criminal Minds?
It's a group inside of the FBI that are profilers. So they're a specialist team. They work on cases that they profile who the person might be, and then they have this super technical lady that goes out and does all kinds of crazy computer things. Most of it is not that real, but some of it is based on reality. It's so it's just a small flavor of the show. Okay,
so this lady that you talked about, Diego, this is the story.
Garcia.
Oh, Garcia, sorry. Oh my God, Diego Garcia. I'm so bad. Anyway, okay. So Garcia comes on board, and this we took a couple from season 9, episode 12, and then there's another clip that we're going to use that I just thought was really kind of funny. Full disclosure, Criminal Minds is an ABC production, and they're very particular, so hopefully, knock on wood, they don't yell at me too much. But let's go ahead and let's review our first video, and I think this is where they convince Garcia to join the crew, if you will. So, are you guys ready for your first clip?
Ready.
And now, is this the first time they are meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in a later episode, but this is a flashback.
You say so. Suit.
We've got evidence of your off-site servers and of your hack into the cosmetics company.
They test on animals.
Yes, they do, but it's not illegal. What you've done is a felony, and it's punishable by prison.
If you've got me, J. Edgar.
It's Agent Hotchner, and I'm from the Behavioral Analysis Unit. And I'm here to offer you an option to prison. You come work for me. You be our technical analyst.
Now, hacktivism is real.
Teach you
It
how
is.
to use Google, that kind of thing. That's fun.
You'd help us hunt psychopaths.
Oh, I love that. I help you Google.
I'm a psychopath.
No, you're not. A psychopath. In hacker circles, you're known as the Black Queen, and you are rigorously moral. All of your online attacks reflect a fierce desire to protect those who you think are being hurt. You accept my offer, you can do the same thing for the federal government. I just need a resume.
That's so funny to me. I need a resume.
Well, I'm not in the habit of bringing my resume to events I am handcuffed at, but I have some stationery in my purse, and I'll write down some computery stuff.
Computery
All right, let's
stuff.
pause. So let's pause right there.
Okay.
Let's talk about this for a second, you guys. I actually know hackers that have been caught by FBI, went to jail for it. Do you think it is reasonable, plausible to have them say you're the Black Widow and you're the best at it, so we're going to hire you or you go to jail? Is that a real thing?
So, as implausible as it sounds, it actually is. Now, I would say, I've got a son. He's in his fourth year computer science, focusing on cybersecurity. I wouldn't recommend this as a job sourcing exercise. But there are instances when I was a young fellow coming up in Canada. There was a famous hacker. He was just a teenager. He went under the moniker of Mafia Boy. And he did a bunch of DDoS attacks on Amazon, a few other large companies. Did his prison time, but then after that, they actually hired him back as a consultant. And in the U.S., another guy, very similar, maybe 10, 15 years ago, he hacked CNN, a bunch of other different news sites. After he served his sentence, he actually is now an informant and a consultant to the FBI and the Army. So it does happen, but as I say, not recommended. You're 99.59 chance of going to jail and never getting a normal job again.
Matt, would you hire Garcia?
I think it's a little bit of quid pro quo. So it's, if we hire you and we get a little information about you, maybe we'll, take some years off of your sentence. But I agree with John. It's, it's not something where they're just going to be able to walk for the crimes they committed. So hire is strong, but work with to gather information. Yeah, probably, to get some intel, and which could help us all, going forward.
Awesome.
Yeah, but to get a job in cybersecurity, there's all kinds of background checks. And if you're doing anything in the federal government, I used to have guys working for me in the federal government, and they had to do polygraphs. They call me and ask questions. They talk to their neighbors. Yeah, usually you have to be really squeaky clean.
And truthfully, my friend he's had some real challenges because of that. So I don't want to go into too much detail because he actually might be a future guest. But that being said, so I just thought it was funny because I thought FBI, especially as a government entity, would have extraordinarily rigorous hiring practices. And for him to simply say, write up a resume. Like, I just thought that was so flippant. I just love that part of it. Just kind of, again, one of those moments that just threw me off saying, seriously, dude.
And she said, yeah, I'll just put some computery stuff on a piece of paper and hand it to you. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah. But the first part in terms of hacker and activism is very real. There's all kinds of hacktivists out there. In the criminal one, I was doing some work back when Matt and I were at our previous company working together. Was right around the time in 2014 when everything went down with Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. And, our headquarters was up there, so I was kind of in the spot. But some hackers broke into some government websites, and they published a bunch of data on the police officers involved. And, yeah, it's real, but very illegal, obviously.
Let us talk about our next clip. So the next clip that I wanted to share was a interesting one because it showed her, I guess it's a flashback scene or I don't know if it's a flashback scene. She just got recruited, and I think she's coming back to bring her ex-boyfriend down. I think that's the context.
Yeah, this is several years later in this episode. So they flash back to her and how she got recruited.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, it's like 9 years later or something. She's delving back into her Black Queen hacker past. to go after her old organization.
Okay. Oh, I like the premise of this. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys.
Either give me your mom's credit card or get out.
Hey, Shane.
What's up?
What the hell, man? We just got knocked offline.
What do you mean?
Okay. I'm assuming all the lights are IP connected because why would everything go down? Or I don't get it.
Building management system.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure I can even play this part right now. Full disclosure, you guys. So it looks like, yeah.
Very nice. Wow.
All right, so that was short and sweet. What a way to make entrances, you guys.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Now, for the lay people out there, that's what we do. We walk into the office, we're jamming, we're cool.
We got our own soundtrack going.
I don't wear fishnets.
Okay, so if you don't mind a little bit of context to this, are they hacking or are they playing games? Are this like...
This was a hacker organization that she used to be involved in. It was her old boyfriend that still runs it.
Okay. Now, were they hacking for the context of, again, like you were saying, social hacktivism, or no, we're going to make some money?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't watch the entire episode, so I don't know. And then, well, of course, that's what she was doing. What the group did after she left, I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't get that context, yeah.
So, Matt, what was your first impression seeing that?
Well, there's some bits and pieces there that have merit, but when you put it together as a whole, it doesn't. So the bits and pieces are like, electrical providers are known as grid providers. They have separate networks. Their systems are segregated. And then, in most commercial buildings, there's not, Ethernet connected, network connected, control panels, electrical control panels. All those things are like conceivable, but very, very unlikely. And then, an image popping up on everybody's screen at the same time. That's definitely not something that would, that would happen. So, it's kind of cool though. It reminds me of the movie Hackers. If y'all have ever seen that, there's somewhat of a similar scene in that. Maybe that's where they got it from.
I mean, it's just dramatic, right? All the lights go off, right? Like what I would venture to guess, theatrically speaking, is you got all these like really savvy techs, but are taken down and they lose what their power was. Literally, they lose their power, right? So I thought that was really interesting. But okay, but the whole skull, like when all the machines got taken over, that's real, right?
That's pretty Hollywood.
But maybe not,
Hollywood.
not instantaneously,
yeah.
but like if you...
It could be, but it'd be very, very difficult to do. First, you got to get access to their environment. To take them offline, there's ways to do it. But a hacker, they'd have to be the worst hacker group in the world to even let you in the first place. And then once you got in, going through your layers of defense, you got to get on those systems. You got to implant something to take them over, and then something to display a graphic. Just so many layers there. Worst hacker group in the world if that was plausible at all.
Now, in the age of Internet of Things, where you have smart plugs and things like that, there is a lot of school of thought that the attack vector is going to be on things like that, where everything in your house and in your buildings and that sort of thing started to be connected to the internet. So it does change the attack vector, the attack surface. Now, whether or not somebody's going to target your specific Internet of Things devices, that there still remains a lot to be seen there. But it is at least opening up the possibility when you start connecting things to the internet.
Yeah, it's good for us guys in cybersecurity, zero trust frameworks, least privilege, there's so many layers of defense, from the data to the application to physical to the perimeter, it's good for us. It's a complex world.
Well, I mean, literally, look, it's been a few eons since I've been in your guys' world. I'm just a groupie now, so I cheer you guys all to success. But if you think of the OSI model, it's literally going through everything, right? It literally goes down from the network, hardware layer all the way up the app layer. That's why I was laughing, because to me it was like all encompassing, all at once, everything that we think of. You know, I was like, ooh, hey, I can recognize. I took the app down. You know what I mean? Like, so, okay. So scale of 1 to 10, guys. 1 being a great cartoon to 10 for accuracy.
1.75.
I'll go with that as well, John.
being the engineering computer scientist that we are.
It was entertaining, though, nevertheless.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, so 10 for entertainment, though.
There you go.
Okay,
yeah,
so,
it was good.
All right. Well, then I guess it would be like a 5 then if we average it out. I'm kidding. No.
How did you like it, Syya?
I liked it because it's so dramatic, right? But again, I know enough to be dangerous, and I knew this was a dramatic moment. It wasn't rooted in reality. I mean, her walking in first off with her own Beyonce, like, you know, soundtrack going. First off, if I tried that once as a joke with, thank goodness, a client meeting, like it went over well like a lead bomb, like a lead dud. Like it was like they were hurts. Like they just thought it was funny at first, and then they're just like, yeah. You don't got the swag. So I was like, thanks, guys.
and if you were going to be a hacker, would you have a handle? She's the Black Queen. Oh,
is it Black Queen? Black Widow? Yeah.
Black Queen, I think.
I mean, look, if you're going to have a handle and you rock it.
See your data by?
See your data by. That's pretty good.
Is that bad?
That's pretty funny.
They were kind of weird about that.
We just need you to run some bar association records.
Why doesn't she?
Again, look at the guys are dressed up. And he's in like.
Who was shot.
That's right.
Is that a tie around his neck?
Who hit her?
That's what we're hoping to find out.
I don't know. Yes, it is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the privilege of being in IT is often the suits like eccentric people, so it's okay to to
look up the
express
name James Colby Baylor and see if it shows up anywhere in the system.
I'm just pressing keys. I don't know what it's doing.
The system is insane. It's completely Linux-based, open-source programming. And you don't see this in government systems, I mean, outside of, like, Switzerland.
James Colby Baylor.
Right, I get it. Chap, jeez.
Does that guy have no personality?
Nothing.
This is another guy inside of the FBI, a tech analyst, and he and Garcia actually end up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. And this is how he starts to like her.
Initials JCB.
So they're both FBI people going after each other?
Yeah, in this instance, they're leveraging him while she's off or something.
Is there a problem?
Well, this might be the coolest girl I've ever met.
You've never laid eyes on her.
Well, her GUI is mind-blowing.
The list?
Her GUI is mind-blowing? What the hell does that even mean?
That's weird.
Graphical user interface.
No, I get that, but what does it even mean? Like, these are just browser windows he's pulling up.
Yeah, she had some custom art there.
Looks like
Which with AI now we'll all have some.
Oh, don't get me started on AI.
Hell? Oh, no, you don't.
I do not have time for this.
Feels like a god.
No.
Now, if I can ever convince my friends and family to watch this, this is what we do at work all day. It's very exciting.
Play?
What is she doing in there?
Okay, so let's pause.
You really want to know?
So I have to stop that for a second because I am not technical. I'm technical concept person, but I'm not the one that would ever be at the keyboard, cranking out code or anything like that. So what I saw to me right there looked like a bunch of browsers and images, and yeah, there was some line of code popping, but would you guys be like having 40,000 browsers up like that? A, I think that would slow the machine down, and B, that's not right? Am I wrong? What?
It's
they're depicting a lot of things there at one time. So they're talking about Linux, so console-based, computing, which is you have to kind of know a little bit about what you're doing in order to type into that instead of using a GUI, a graphical user interface, which an interface on top of an underlying operating system. So they're kind of trying to pull at this guy's smart strings, and then suddenly he's trying to access a system and he's locked himself out, so he thinks, and then he realizes, no, actually somebody else is in this system and they're locking me out. And that's when he's saying, not so fast, and he's trying to counteract what he's doing, and essentially it's becoming who can get in the system fastest. And so somebody set a booby trap essentially, and when he logged in, an alarm went off, and at least this is what they're portraying, and then the person in the other character is trying to stop everything that he's doing. So that's kind of interesting. It was kind of fun.
And if you rely on someone to stop the hacker, everything happens so fast. That's not real. There's no two people in a battle of wits. It's very carefully staged, planned, researched, and executed. Yeah, as much as we'd like it to be real and exciting, that's not our job.
Right. It goes in stealth. It's already pre-coded, and it doesn't emerge until like sometimes if it's coded for like months later to trigger. Right? Is that like a Trojan and all that? So okay. Okay. But there have been situations, however, this is not an RDP situation, right? This is simply they're trying to like out code each other and it's popping up at the same time, but they're not in each other's machine, or are they on the same machine duking it out with each other?
I think it's implied. That's what I'm trying to understand. Yeah, it's implied they're on the same Linux server with different console sessions.
Yeah, and Linux is a open source Unix based. Linux is what, Matt, 70% of the servers worldwide, and certainly in a government agency, you would not be using the free open source version. You'd have a commercial version that has regular security and patch release and tested and things like that. So yeah, it should be. I can't believe that any government agency would allow someone to run open source Linux in their environment. That would be immediately fireable offense.
We call that resume generating event. Resume
generating, yes.
So that was one point of accuracy, right? I've never thought I would see Linux, right? That's one point of
absolutely.
accuracy.
That was accurate. Yeah. So someone knew a little bit about IT and kind of threw that in there. I don't even believe Switzerland would do that, but.
I think they just insulted an entire country, or unless they're like referencing CERN, maybe it's like, what else is going on in Switzerland?
Could be.
I don't know. Hey, CERN, want to hit me up? I'm just kidding. Don't hit me up. But all right. So I digress. So, but let's continue on in this scene because it does crack me up a little bit. And there's hope. Look how casual they all look, and she's the one that's hustling like a mo. Like, no. Really?
You are not seriously trying to backhack me.
Oh, nicely played. Okay.
Now, this is just way too easy.
That's right. Chase me.
Oh, I thought you had skills.
So is this guy also another person? Like, or they bring him in?
Here we go.
He gets a more regular spot on the show as it goes along.
Does it? Okay.
Here we go with all the other screens in the room. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Those are all the cases I flagged.
Okay. Everybody take a copy. We need to see if any of the agents overlap in all of the cases.
Look, and he just pulled out a USB. This to me is like red flags. USB saves it all.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, the USB ports are most likely shut down.
Now, there is a concept of network access control protocols where you could be shunning ports on the network when things are going on, and conceivably things would stop. But yeah, a USB stick suddenly fixing everything, no.
Okay.
What did you do? Reboot the systems? And if we found out how to reboot them that quick in Hollywood, then got to bring that to corporate America for sure.
Okay, let's talk about that USB stick, my friends. Isn't it one of the easiest, fastest way to corrupt a system is to bring in a USB stick and just randomly place it in like random ports anywhere? Isn't that like rule number one of what you're not supposed to do?
Probably rule number 2 after or maybe 3, not giving out bad information, not clicking malicious or strange emails, and then external devices. Yeah, Yeah, no, not good.
Yeah.
And then second part to that is, what the hell's on that USB that suddenly can fix things? Like, what's it implying?
That's
rebooted from Flash.
That's very Hollywood. Yeah.
That's very Hollywood. Very Hollywood.
Are you saying there's no like skeleton app coding whatever in there in the USB that could like be the end all to solve these problems? You're saying that's not feasible?
Maybe it's something that we should work on.
Just
get a patent.
I mean, as a security person, isn't that like that? Just like to me, like again, one of those moments I would fall out and be like, "Ain't no legit, credible security person is going to carry a USB and be like, I got this." Like, if you saw your colleague doing that, what would your first thought be?
I hope they're not in my organization.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I knew of somebody once that would just, leave USB drives in the parking lot or something, and just to see if somebody would pick it up and try to use it, and people would. It's free somebody dropped their USB stick. Now I've got a free. It's not as big of a deal now. I don't think we run into that as much now with OneDrive and Google Drive and things like that. But 5 years ago, everybody was, or more like 5 to 10 years ago, people were still walking around moving things from device to device on USB stick, and so that's I think that raises a good point that kind of the attack vector, the attack surface just changes over time, right? As technology changes, and you have to make sure you protect whatever surface that is as technology changes.
Okay, so what would be the recommendation in this scene right here? They're hacking, but they're going back and forth. They're like doing some I don't know, what's that thing when you do airplanes and you like battle royale with each other? Top Gun style. Dogfight, yeah. A, that's not realistic. But B, it was realistic that they mentioned Linux, right? Not being in, government networks. C, I still don't understand. You've got Mr. Bland personality FBI guy, and then you've got, I think, Shamar Moore, who's beautiful. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Sorry. Not sorry. Like, is that even legal? Would we as a entity go against our own teams? Is that Hollywood?
We go against our teams all the time, little fiefdoms, but actually on the system, that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how you guys are so like smiling, going, "Yeah, I'm not going to admit nothing here."
We're very
But again,
cautious.
another entertaining clip.
Okay, so scale 1 to 10, accuracy. 1 being, great cartoon. 10 being, that actually can happen. Where are you guys sitting?
Down into negative territory on this one. They're really stretching. It's really stretching on that.
Yeah.
But entertaining.
I'm with Matthew.
Okay, so overall with our videos that we've gone over today for Criminal Minds, and yes, like I said, you guys, ABC is extraordinarily particular about what can be shown and what not. But as a technology and cybersecurity professional experts that you guys are, would you recommend this for anyone to be interested to get into technology or cybersecurity?
Sure. Yeah, I think a career in the FBI and all the wonderful things that can really happen would be very challenging and exciting. Choose the light, not the dark. Yeah, absolutely. Just as with anything in the movies, temper that with the reality of all the thinking and all the time you have to spend in the chair and learning and studying. It's a lifelong adventure. So, if you're into that, it's a great career on the light side. Maybe fun on the dark side, but unethical, jail, no good. Go to the light.
Go to the light.
Cybersecurity is, I think, the fastest growing segment of technology, and has a lot of AI in it as well. So a lot of people are interested in AI these days, and you couple that with cybersecurity, and you have a pretty good place to start in technology that could serve you well for a long time. I tell a lot of people when they ask me that, when they find out I'm in technology and they're trying to get into it, what areas should I focus in? And cybersecurity almost is my immediate reaction.
I mean, okay, I don't want to go off onto a tangent, but things like deepfake, for example, is that a real issue for you guys, or is that something that has been addressed or is being addressed?
I've got a meeting on deepfake coming up in a couple of hours. Yeah, AI is accelerating the change of pace in our lives in many different ways, in cybersecurity especially. Now, at Checkpoint, we've been using AI engines and machine learning for a long time to recognize zero-day exploits and things like that. I think of it as, so I'm old now. I did a degree in programming back in the mid-90s. And, it was very low level, just assembler. And then you were doing C, formula translator, Fortran. And then the language is built out, more modules. And I almost think of AI and code generation as going, what are we on now? The 5th generation of programming languages where everything's so easy. AI is going to accelerate that. What took 25 years is going to happen in 2 years. You still need people to control it right now, but it's just really smart, really fast, and enables people to do a lot of things that we're not sure what's going to come down the pipe. So we're trying to be as ready as we can in the cybersecurity world every day.
Okay, now you're frightening me because I'm like Skynet. Should I just go ahead and just say right now and just declare, okay, Overlord, like whatever it might be, I'm on your side. Matt, any final thoughts on the video clips that you saw today, or your thoughts on AI and cybersecurity?
The clips were fun. I mean, it's Hollywood technology, but it's neat to see it evolve, and to see Hollywood influence technology influence Hollywood, and keep it relevant and interesting, and so it's something that gives you a chuckle for sure. And then when you peel back the layers of the onion, you analyze it. Hadn't done this before in this type of format. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you guys. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. And of course, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, obviously we can always, just comment, you guys. Let us know what you think. Is this the idea of the future that we've always envisioned? Is it depicted on media? Is it our potential future? Or is it something where, hey, let's bring it back to reality of what really is occurring so we're not, scaring the population? So would love your comments. Please like, share, subscribe as always. And John, Matt, thank you so much for joining us on Checkpoint Real Talk, guys. We'll see you until the next time.
Thank you. It was fun. Yeah.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Checkpoint Real Talk. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and some of those other buttons to show us your appreciation. And if you want to learn more or have any questions, please let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time for another episode of Checkpoint Real Talk.